Under the southern sun, rubber burns and the race has begun. Enters Racing League, the speed is our creed. Fuel the fire, we're born to lead. Lights go green and the world's a blur. Chasing glory, feel the engine purr. Wheels keep spinning, hearts on fire. Chasing the thrill, climbing higher and higher. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. That's the light. From Melbourne skies to Perth's dry heat, the asphalt sings beneath our feet. Every corner, every turn we own. Enters Racing League is home. No brakes, no fear, we own this track. Push the limit, no turning back. Faster, stronger, we're breaking through. Enters Racing League, it's what we do. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. It's a mice.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally arrived. Season 9 is underway and we begin round 1 at Canada in Montreal, the lovely Gilles Villeneuve circuit. It is a tough street circuit, plenty of penalties, I reckon, a few cars potentially in the wall tonight, but great to be finally underway for Season 9. Scotty in the box with you for the time being. Hopefully should have a special guest joining me at some point in quali. Hopefully not too far away, as the green light has been given for the lobby, so we're very shortly going to be underway. Let's have a quick look at our calendar. Canada, obviously round 1, the calendar split up into the regions, so obviously we are in North and South America for the first 5 rounds, then we head over to Europe for the middle part of the season, then towards the Middle East in October, November, and then finally we end off our calendar in Singapore and Australia. But who are the drivers contesting Tier 3? Dan the Racer and Frizy, the McLaren TP in the McLaren, Mercy and Bompton in the Ferrari, Quiet Cake and Broken Reptile in the Red Bull, Kimi Antgo and Kingy in the Mercedes, RK Gaming and Fat Eagle in the Aston Martin, Broseph and Eagle Blade in the Alpine, Cross-Eyed Gaming and Jetman in the Haas, Almighty Gob and Ads making his return in the Racing Bulls, Pugsy and Donmore in the Worms, and then finally Zandon and Ashton in the Sauber. So a few drivers missing tonight, so we've got 4 reserves in. We'll bring them up when we go to the track. We'll quickly look at the track details. Montreal. So it'll be 35 laps around this 4.361 kilometer circuit. 14 corners. Lap record is a 113.078 by Bottas in 2019. As you can see, a lot of abrasion, minimal abrasion, low grip, needed plenty of traction. Obviously, the braking very big around here. Obviously, the hairpin, you're pretty much going from 250 all the way down to about 60-70 kilometers an hour. So 2 DRS zones as well. Down the start-finish straight, the back straight as well, and then obviously you got that third one in the middle part of the lap, but only 2 detection zones. So we are good to go. So let's head over to trackside. So 16.5 minutes left to go in the session. Get everything up. Hopefully you can hear the game. We'll head to someone out on track. So good to be with you for another season of Intus Racing League action. Obviously Mozza still recovering, but he'll be your main man on a Friday night. So obviously wishing him the best with his recovery. So glad to be in the box for the first round of Tier 3, as we'll follow Dan the Racer on their first lap as they make their way around turn number 2. It's a tricky corner to get the exit you want out of turn 2. Then going through the first chicane, Dan was very cautious going through there. He's got a car right up his rear end. As that was nearly contact between the two. So I think the Aston just started their lap a little bit too close. Dan's finally gotten out of it. I don't think that'd be a block because Dan was on a lap as well. So clearly, who was that Aston Martin? It was Jenneth. So I think Jenneth didn't quite realise that Dan was starting his lap and just started the lap well too close. So I don't think Dan will appreciate that. But they back off and go again. Jenneth's going to keep going, so we'll follow through. Jerobot, how are ya? I think it's a leg injury. I don't know if he's broken his ankle, but I'm not sure. He's done it a few weeks ago. His goes quickest in the meantime in the Sauber. So Jenneth's getting out of the way, so we'll go follow someone else. Evil Blaze stuck in the middle of turn 1. So he's on the runoff area. So just completely out of the way. We've got Jetman on 11 flat. Now he was having talking to him a little bit before we went live. He was having few troubles, but I think he did get into the swing of things towards the end of his practice this afternoon. So hopefully he goes well. Cross-eyed Gaming currently in P3, Domwell P4, Optimist in P5. Broseph got pretty close to the wall as he comes down towards the hairpin. So in the Alpine this season. So for a bit of DRS. I don't know if we'll get a little bit of the toe from the Sauber in front. Coming into the last chicane, very easy to invalidate. It was clean for Broseph. So first lap time on the board for the Alpine. It is going to be an 11.5. About half a second off Jetman, 3/10 clear out front. All right, Mercy has invalidated. I believe he only recently just got the game, considering that he didn't have the game when he got drafted. So he wouldn't have had nowhere near as much time as all the other guys. An invalidation. So he'll go again if he's got the battery and the fuel. I didn't he would so, unless he got this next. T7 is in. So obviously must have made a mistake on their first lap. Quiet Cake. Look forward to see how Quiet Cake can go this evening. So coming across the line, the Red Bull driver, 15.1. So obviously a bit of a banker lap for Quiet. So definitely know he's got more pace in him. Mercy is the one that I do want to watch though, Dunno. Gob's also on a lap, so he's made a couple of mistakes or just run wide, so he's gone 2 laps and yet set a lap time. So very easy to invalidate around here, so can't really blame the guys if they sort of make a little bit of a mistake. But hairpin out of 10, little kink of 11. So how quickly has Mercy got back up to speed? Final chicane, 13 and 14. It's looked clean so far. Mercy comes across the line. Already goes a 10.9. It's a quick lap. And considering he's only had the game for a couple of days, that's a hell of an opening time, I think. Be a little bit too careful and he doesn't actually get moved up too early. Nice lap for Mercy. Here we go. We've got King Dogger, one of the Mercedes. Hopefully King Dogger and Kimi Anko go well. Obviously I'll be a little bit biased with Mercedes again this season with it being my team. But yeah, let's just say that it's going to be a tough ask for myself tomorrow. But oh, that's a little bit of a tough ask from King Dogger trying to get traction out of that bloody hairpin. DRS is now open. So no time on the board for half the drivers so far, and we're very close to halfway through this quali session. Just under 11 minutes left to go. Ingadoga comes across the line, goes in 11.6. So it's a decent banker on the board. So he'll go again if he's got the fuel. Who's that? Broseph goes even quicker, up into P3. So Broseph looking quick, and that was on the same set of tyres as well. So happy just to fill her up, and then just 2 laps as he gets out of the way of Zandon. Haven't been on one of the Saubers yet. So 11.3 for the first lap from Zandon. He is feeling confident, Zandon. I think he said to me before with his practice, he's comfortable sort of in the 1 lap. It's going to be his race consistency that's possibly going to trip him up. So we'll see. As his teammate, Clubbing Unseen, goes P5, Arcade Gaming, finds 3/10. Oh, sorry, 2/10 on Mercy. So a great lap from Arcade Gaming in the Aston Martin. Go back to Zandon, slightly down. I was going to say, Cubing Unseen, reserved tonight. Ashton missing tonight, unfortunately. So Zandon, the lone main full-time driver, but improves his time, goes an 11 flat. Gibby went an 11.3, 5 laps on those tyres, so they'll be pretty old as Broken Reptile goes a 10-6. So Timmy's boy looking quite good as T7s as well goes a 10-7 as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, T7s is a reserve, one of the reserves tonight. So as a quick have a look, so Timmy obviously, T7 is obviously the reserve for Williams. Jenneth Lee is the reserve for Aston Martin. And he's yet to have a time on the board. Keeping Unseen, as I said before, the reserve for Sauber. And everybody else is in. So good to have 20 drivers on the grid for our first race of the season. As we see Evil Blade currently P11. 11.4 their time. You can see very, very close between sort of a lot of the pack. Who was that? That might have been one of the Haas's. No, it was one of the RBs actually. So who have we got on a lap? One of the Williams, I think, coming through the last chicane now. Oh, I was going to say coming into pit lane, but that's not how you enter it. Completely lock on the rears. It's T7s. Just got to be a little bit careful that he doesn't lock anybody. Thankfully, he doesn't. He's got Frizy coming through to finish their lap. Goes at 12.7. So both McLarens a little bit further down than what I think. Same as both RBs as well. Shadow and Gob. Neither of the RBs yet to set a lap time, so going to have to get a little bit of a move on. We've only got 7.5 minutes left to go in the session. Yeah, Zilla, thank you. Yeah, Shadow Realm. I think it's been quite a while since we've... I believe it's the same Shadow. I believe it's been quite a while since we've seen him in the car. So that's the one. That's the driver that I want. Ashmash, good to see you as well. So P19 at the moment for the RBs. Can they get a time on the board? They do jump one of the McLarens, so P18. Oh, but as a moment through turn one, and he nearly blocks, and one of the Haas's have to get out of the way. I believe that was Cross-Eyed Gaming. So nearly an accident coming out of pit lane. Thankfully avoids it, but not exactly the prep that you do want as you're starting your lap. Not sure what Gob's doing. Maybe he's not feeling comfortable around this track, but we know sort of how Gob can go if he can stay out of trouble. Obviously get some good points. As far as he comes into the pit lane barely, but you can see him sideways coming in. As you've got Mercedes pair working together, so Kimi Ant go obviously in P2 helping King Dogger. Can he get into the 10s? No, not quite, only just missing out, but does improve their order and jumps into P8 on 11 flat. You can see it is very close, I'd say from 1/10 between the top four, and then from Mercy down, probably looking at like 3/10 within the next 6 or 7 drivers, so very, very close. There's 5.5 minutes left to go, so you can do a lot of runs around, obviously, this circuit being that it's just over 70 seconds long. Mercy to complete their next lap, and they go even quicker at 10.4, finds half a second on that lap. And Mercy is absolutely flying, and on the same age tyres that he set the previous one, I believe. Mercy, 2/10 gap at the moment. He's got to be a little bit careful, otherwise they might be asking him to move up and maybe do Saturday afternoons, so got to be a little bit careful. Both Haas's, Jetman's up 3/10. This will put him right in the mix for potentially a second row grid position coming across the line. He goes even better at 10.4, half a tenth off Mercy. Jetman flying around this track as well. So good to see. He's found some confidence since practice. And currently on the front row. Haas looking good. Cross-Eyed Gaming has got a 1/10.5 up. That will move them near the 10.7s and very close to Kimi, T7s and RK. Round the final chicane. It's valid. So can we see Haas's both inside the top 4? We do. 10.6. 2/1000 off a Broken Reptile. Haas, as he has a bit of a slide through too. Alpine of Grosser starting their next lap. 4 minutes left to go in the session. How about someone further down? How's Dan going? Just completed a lap. Invalidated on this one. So 12.2 for Dan. Jeneth half a second up through the middle sector. So 12.3 at the moment. Obviously needs to find nearly 2 seconds to get to the top. Yeah, that's right, Cash Mash. Gob's at least out on track now and get another 2 laps. So I think he's invalidated again. Jeneth lost a little bit of time in the last sector, but found 3/10, so 11.9. So thought Jeneth might be a little bit higher up, and not to be. QB Unseen has invalidated. Broseph has backed off his lap, so he's made a mistake somewhere. Bompton P14 invalid. I think he might have just improved. Gob's invalidated. I think this is Gob's problem, that he can't actually get a valid lap in, because I believe he went out early and went 2 laps, didn't set a lap time, so I think Gob just can't quite keep it in the lines. He's got at least a 12.4 on the board now. So unless everyone's got a time there. So 2.5 minutes left to go. You can see a lot of drivers starting their final runs now, or just about to leave pit lane. So a lot of yellow flags, just people getting out of the way. RK Gaming on an out lap. So they're about to go on a quick one. Race 10-7. They had pole provisionally for a couple of minutes. What can they do? Follow them through turns 1, then the right-hander, long sweeping turn 2. Looking good. Now the chicane. Okay, just enough room on the wall. Then we come up to the first sector. He's half a tenth up. Now we come through the next chicane. Easily having a moment there. It was mostly good for RK Gaming. DRS down this sort of mini back straight. Then through 8 and 9. Looks clean, RK Gaming. How's his second sector split looking? He's up by a tenth and a bit. This will push him potentially to the second row, as I think T7's improved once again. He goes at 10.450, 3/1000ths off. As we see RK Gaming. DRS down the back straight. 2 corners left. It was clean chicane, nearly hitting the wall. RK Gaming, can he get to the front? No, not quite. He found another 10th, but he goes a 10.5 as we get to within the last minute of qualifying, and I have checkered flag now with me, I believe. No worries, turn. Yeah, we did. We were like 3 minutes early, so.
I was like thinking, I have not.
No.
You got a minute left.
As I said, Broken Reptile goes even quicker, 10.4, pole position at the moment. Great lap. So Tibby will be very happy with that, but a lot of guys on their final flyers. One of the McLarens is going to be the next across the line. Brizzy, no, I think they're just starting their last. So we've got Broseph slightly up. As we come across the line, Broseph can't improve. What about the Sauber behind? That was Zanded. Mercy hits the flag. So he is on P2 at the moment. We got one of the RBs. They've invalidated. Gob won't improve. The Aston Martin of Jeneth, I think it... no, RK, sorry. P5. The Williams of Donmore. Slightly up. Can Donmore crack inside the top 10? No, they stay 11th. What about the Merc of... Who's the other Merc? I can't see him. Kimmy's coming through the final chicane. Oh, it was it was King Dogger P9. Kimienko P7 moves up a spot P6. What about the both Haasers? Jetman stays fourth. Cross-eyed Gaming P7. Other McLaren. Brizzy stays 19th. So not a great quality session from either McLaren or RB. Quite slow. Zandon goes inside the top 10 as T. Simmons takes pole position by 2/1000ths of a second. That's a hell of a lap from T. Simmons. Brosef's in the pits. White Cake is done. That is your quali session over and done. And at the death, T. Simmons takes pole position for the first round in Tier 3.
And they were on a used set of tyres.
Yeah, 3 laps. That's a hell of a lap. And considering the tyres are pretty much useless after the first lap, T. Simmons take a bow, but
Yeah, that was fantastic stuff.
yeah, maybe
from
just
the Williams.
lift off the pedal just in case they ask you to move to Saturday afternoons. But that's a hell of a lap from T. Simmons. But look, you can look at the gap. That's what 700s,
That is
700s between the top
perfect
4.
tier 3. That's a perfect tier 3. Like the whole, I think what we're about to see. I'm pretty sure I saw. I think the top 6 all within a tenth of each other. So, unless I'm mistaken.
No, well, no, it
There we go.
definitely
So
was.
top 4 within a tenth of each other, and then the top 7 all within 2.5 tenths. That's incredibly close up there.
That's a hell of an effort from T. Simmons and Broken Reptile. Good to see Broken Reptile back, and he's back very quickly. Mercy, obviously, only just recently got the game, but he's not taken too long to get back up to speed. Jetman obviously just missing out on that front row, and then scrolling further down, as I said, McLaren and RB didn't quite have the best run of it. Dan, Gob, Brizzy, and Shadow will line up on the back 2 rows of the grid. But as we wait for the race start and the lights, check it. Obviously, we'll welcome you to the comms box. Welcome. How do you feel about Montreal?
Well, I almost won here 2 days ago in VSC. It was a pretty strong top grid there as well. So lots of challenges there. Safety cars will be big. One major thing is avoid the penalties. There's one chicane where we will always see, and I bet you will see a whole bunch of penalties. It's that first chicane. So I believe it's turn 2 or turn 3 of the track, turn 3 and 4, that little right-left chicane. And it gives you an instant warning. And if you cut it a little bit too much, it's an instant pen. And same with the final chicane. Another thing is, safety cars are huge. And plus, we may see a variation of strategy. A one-stop is very, very possible. But if you have the pace, which I tried and almost won the race as well, if you have the pace, a 2-stop is a winnable strategy over the 1-stop. But I'll let you take it away for the 5 red light, Scott.
That's all right. As we begin our first race of the season, Season 9, we're underway. T. Simmons and Broken Reptile. Broken Reptile will seem to get the second part of his launch right and takes the lead. T. Simmons loses a spot as Mercy jumps into the top 2. As we get a yellow flag, I think we've had issues further back. As you can see, a lot of the field slow. Domo, I think, has been a big part of that, considering that he was 11th or 12th on the grid. As you got Evil Blade and Dan the Racer, Bompton as well, going side by side through 3 and 4. Never a good idea. They just managed to get out of it. Plenty of mayhem at the back. Meanwhile, back up front, Broken Reptile, great start and a great launch. T. Simmons was the one that was slow out of pole, and Mercy got the jump. T. Simmons, Jetman, RK Gaming, Kimmy, Ingdogger, Zandon, Giving Unseen, and Cross-Eye Gaming is, I think you got, Janice had a moment through 9 and slow, but I think they've just managed to recover that, get everybody with their tyres, so bit of mixture, as we can see, Cross-Eye Gaming and Giving Unseen swapping position, Giving trying to get the spot back, Cross-Eye Gaming able to defend. Don't really want to be outside through 13 and 14. Oh, it's T. Simmons, I think, hit the wall and he spun. He's had a shocking lap 1, and he's going to fall to the rear of the field. He's got to wait for everybody to go past, so hopefully he doesn't get disqualified.
And he has damage. It's his front left end plate. It's a red front wing for T-Sam. It's disaster for Williams. Domwell, is down from the grid on the first lap. Mighty Gob up nearly 10 positions. So I believe it was Broseph, Firecake, and Domwell who got into contact in the first lap. Hence the yellow flags we saw at the start. And now disaster for William Websy. I think Websy's team principal. So it's going from really good, high hopes, to absolutely disaster. And on top of that, a broken front wing, plus no virtual safety car to save him. But we'll look to the front with DRS enabled. Dono should be slipstreaming Broken Reptile, but it seems like Broken Reptile has the edge of him at the moment.
And something also to realise as well, Broken Reptile actually had a great start considering that he's started on the hards where everybody around him started on the mediums. So that's a hell of an effort that he actually got a good start.
That's a horrible exit. Look at Jetman. Look at Jetman. Is he coming? Is he going to look down the inside? No, he's just peeking it up down the inside just to let Gunnar know he is there. But the move was almost on there.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a 100 point there.
Yeah, I reckon if Mercy didn't have DRS on from Broken Reptile, he might have been a bit of a sit and duck through turns through turn 1, but got lucky. Didn't do what T-Salmons did, and I reckon that must have been what T-Salmons did, just losing the rear out of the final corner as we get the lovely aerial shot. So top 8 still within DRS.
Oh, contact! It's Broseph who's run straight into the back of the RB. I think he might have gotten away with it, but wow. I was just about to say, let's go back there, but Jesus, if you got 2 wide just ahead, the Red Bull and Firecake moving up in position as his teammate leads. Firecake slowly getting back to where he started, but it's crazy from Broseph. Broseph dropping down about 6 positions in this one sector alone. Oh, Dan's gone!
Yeah, I think that might have been a little bit on Bompton, that one. Just hitting the rear of the McLaren and spinning, as we see Evil Blade moving ahead of Cubing Unseen for P11. That was straight with DRS, as up front has stayed the same. Meanwhile, just Cubing trying to have a go back. No, he doesn't. Just sits in behind, and you've got Ads. I saw that in the chat. So it's Ads in P14 loses a position to Quiet Cake, who goes down the inside. Better traction from the Red Bull, and they move it back up into P13. So you got the top 8, and then I think Gob. I said Gob had a sort of at the back of qualifying, but he's escaped all the carnage. He's up into P9. So he's had a great lap 1. Which one do I want? This one. He's up 9 spots, Gob. I said if he can keep it clean, he'll be on for some good points, and he's done just that.
It will be, but let's take a look here at Cross Eyes Gaming. He's got a decent exit on VSC Zandon. I saw VSC Zandon flashing a lot on this straight before. Does he have DRS? No, Cross Eyes doesn't have DRS. So
You'll just have to
must have been a major mistake from Zandon for Cross Eyes to be that close and not to have DRS. So
you'll just have to get
almost a move there. As RK side by side with King Dogger, contact into 1. King Dogger gives him the room. Down the inside, he squeezes through, up into turn through the penalty haven corner. Is RK going to keep this one? Yes, he does. King Dogger thinks smartly of it in the Mercedes-Benz Works car, as Kimi Antonelli Goat sits just behind, watching on, as Zandon is still flashing like crazy on those straights, so he must be struggling for battery at the moment, Scott.
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting Cubing back into the lobby because his game crashed, so hopefully that invite works for you. I'll keep an eye on the chat just to see if we can't get him back in. But nice battling between RK and King Dogger. So RK up into the top 4 now. So King Dogger's actually had a decent start as well, up 4. Ahead just of his teammate who stayed in P6, or they got close with Zen and hit the rear of the Mercedes. But a big old line, RK Gaming, due to that battling, has lost touch with the top 3, as we see Jetman just pull out, nowhere near close enough for a move. But this is the little breakaway that at the top 3 I think would have loved. Guys at the back fighting. You can see the tyres. So Kimmy
Oh
going.
my God, but gets past, or is catching up to Jenneth now. Oh no, Jenneth got a King Dog, so
Yeah, I think Jenna
both
got him there.
lightning fast from the back, kept it clean at the start as the drama focused around them. Both up individually 7 and 8 places. Now there is a good chance of a safety car somewhat, but the way the pack is battling from 4th and below, because it doesn't seem like Arcane will be able to get back in. Um, I think he's been burning quite a lot that lap, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to get back in. I'm fairly certain the top 3 know that Arcane from 4th downwards is out of DRS, so we'll be pushing like mad. As we've got yellow flags, it's a Ferrari of Bobden.
Yeah, he's hit the wall through
Just,
out
but
of,
yeah, as
out
we
of
look
4.
back, take a look at Dunno. He's right behind Broken Reptile. Does he have enough battery though? Does Broken Reptile have enough battery? Here we go! Through the final chicane we go! Dunno, before the final chicane, gets the job done. Broken Reptile has to cede the position, but at the moment, in my opinion, he is on the more favourable strategy. The hard compound tyre, from my practice here, has to be the best tyre. And proven so as Kimi Antonelli moves ahead of his team, and off goes RK! RK's into the grass, and the 2 Mercedes cars go up positions. RK dropping down a whopping 4 positions after that horrible mistake, Scotty.
Yes.
But yeah, as I mentioned before, the hard tyre is going to start to come into its own right about now. So much more favourable tyre. Dunno, if he can stretch that tyres out to what I think I popped the strategy for one stop to be about lap 16 plus. If he can do that, then props to him. But he's got more yellow flags.
One of McLaren's, I believe.
That's just been a simple lock up. As Frisley, I believe, has also Dan the Racer seems another.
Meanwhile, just talking about T7's obviously coming through the field. He didn't actually come in and change that front wing, so he's still got that left end plate missing. So he's obviously decided the better strategy for him is to just stay out. He's got the 2 McLaren sort of battling. I figured they'd be sort of working together a little bit more.
Back to the leaders though. Here comes Broken Reptile, takes the lead back again, as now, if he's got enough battery, which we're not allowed to show telemetry, so I'm not sure, but if Broken Reptile does have the battery in him, he can use this opportunity to really leg it away from Dunno and Jetman, who are on the medium tyres. Kimi Antonelli Goat, though, take a note of this, on the hard tyres, has now closed the gap to the top 3 by about 3/10 to the cars ahead that last lap alone. So I think we're going to start to see this turn back into a 7-way fight, as we saw before RK and King Doggo were battling like crazy, split back.
Yeah, and Mercy obviously couldn't break away. And I think, yeah, just as you said before, I think those mediums just starting to die a little bit. He's managing to hang in quite well, half second or even 4/10 coming out of the hairpin. So it just
King Dogger's really here, Scott. Take a look at Zandon, all over the back of him. King Dogger does have DRS, but he's slightly out of the detection point for the next lap, possibly. No, he's just pulled himself back in. Zandon knows this as well. Kimi Antonelli going. Still about 2 seconds. We'll watch his first sector. Here's Zandon. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? He does. He looks down the inside. Is he going to think smart of it? Yes, he does. King Dogger still holds on to that position. The 2 Mercedes, or at least the Mercedes, who was initially leading at first, attacking throughout the opening laps, is beginning to struggle here as the tyre degradation increases.
Yeah, and you've definitely got those sorts of drivers where they're quick, but I've definitely noticed, especially in pre-season, a couple of these drivers, they just burn those tyres just a little bit too quickly, whereas you got some of the others just very, very nice on the tyre management, and that's what's going to decide a lot of these races this season. I reckon it's just tyre management and then just the little tweaks of your setup just to make it a little bit nicer on the tyres. And it makes a big difference at the end of stints. I think Kimmy's going to try and help King Dogger just stay within DRS, but I think...
I did see that. Yes, you are right about that, Scotty. I saw him break the 1 second, but instantly back off just to help King Dogger keep his position. That's great teamwork from the 2 Mercedes drivers.
And he's in...
Oh, and King Dogger boxes.
I think this is a good call. You'd rather not sacrifice... you don't really want to sacrifice. Oh, was yellow flag, and that's Bompton. Has he made actually a call at the right time? No, we stay green. Bompton's had a spin, and you can see left side wing completely shattered and gone. As Mercy picks up a 3-second time penalty. These penalties are starting to roll in thick and fast, and one of our primary contenders has a 3-second already, and we're only lap 10 of 35. Too early, but hopefully Mercy can keep it clean to the end now.
I'll tell you who I think, will be a strong contender to win this race. I know we think the top 3 are looking really good. I have my strong bet, not to possibly win. Well, actually, I'll put my money on. I think Kimi Antonelli has a really good chance of winning this race. I think he's not pushing. There's definitely a lot more pace in that car, but he's managing his tyres very well as the top 3 keep pushing along. Broken Reptile will be absolutely shredding those hard tyres. He's not giving an inch to give himself time to recover, as Dunno and Jetman keep hounding him. My money, I think, Scott, is definitely for Kimi to be a surprise contender near the late stages of this race, to be a possible winner, as we see a Ferrari off the track.
He just come out of
I was
pits.
about to say.
Yeah, just come out of
Thought we were
pits.
going to have a situation that brings back heart attacks for me.
Yeah, obviously doesn't want to get involved in the battle up front, so sadly Bompton lapped already, but if we do get a safety car at this point, you have a feeling everybody will come in and he'll get his lap back if he can sort of just hang in there with the fresh hards, but we'll keep an eye on that. King Dogger, meanwhile, he's come out in a little bit of space after that pit stop. He came in about 4 seconds behind Jenneth, so he's closed that gap within 2.7, so he's using that speed to good effect as we see Evil Blade get past Gob. Gob a fair way back, so he must have had a moment coming onto the straight. End plates both in touch, so just obviously traction loss out of there. The Gob still running nicely in P9. We've only had 3 drivers make a pit stop so far. King Dogger is the ones that are sort of higher up. But King Dogger will get a good battle as we see Cross-Eyed Gaming get past Zen, and it's a little bit of a weaker exit, but he'll have DRS to help defend. And Zen, and unfortunately, that's sort of the situation with the one detection point of both DRSs down the final straight and then the start-finish straight, as King Dogger gets past Jenneth, who makes a pit stop. So you start to see all the medium runners just wanting to get rid of those hard compounded tyres and come in.
I really do wonder what conditions Salmon's tyres must be in at the moment, because with the added loss of downforce, very surprised he has not got a penalty. So fair play to him, because
Oh, Mercy, that's not the line you want to take through 8 and 9. There's a big moment through the chicane. He straight lines it. Doesn't lose too much time, but surely he would have had to pick up a warning going that line through. But he was outside DRS before that moment. He's actually snuck in there, so Mercy's tyre's clearly starting to go, but DRS will help him. I reckon we'll see the Ferrari in very shortly. Jetman, I think he's just comfortably sitting there in P3. But yeah, Broken Reptile dragging these two along. Kimi's actually lost a couple of tenths on that last lap.
Yeah, the top 3 are really pushing it now, mate. They're really going for it.
Yeah, he was the quickest of the 4 the previous lap, but he actually lost 3 tenths to the top 3, so maybe a little bit of a moment on that lap, Kimi. But 3 seconds behind, but he's still in a really good spot. He just hopes that we stay green at least before he gets to that sort of pit stop that he's aiming for. What are we saying about lap 23, 22, 23? Try and get mediums home if it's a one-stop?
Yeah, if you do want to do that, look, in my opinion, I think the medium tyres are absolutely garbage. My preferred strategy is to start on the mediums, get them out of the way, and use the hards. Because seriously, in my opinion, after the experience I've had, I think the hard tyre is the best race tyre after about 6 or 7 laps. So on lighter fuel, it would be a different story, but yeah, if we look to Kimi and Broken Reptile, who we would expect to drop onto the hards, they should be boxing about lap 20, obviously, after box already 1.5. about lap 25. And if you really want to slam it home, I think if you want to go for a two-stop, you have to box now, which will be Broken Reptile and Kimmy. Chuck on, well, Kimmy's definitely going for one stop, judging by how, to me, he's too perfectly keeping that pace at about 3 seconds. I think he had a mistake. He was perfectly keeping that gap, which leads me to believe that he's just conserving like crazy. Broken Reptile, I reckon those tires aren't really looking in good shape at the moment, Scott. So if he wants to make a decision about a two-stop, you have to box now for mediums and then go straight to hards. As we might have a
Oh,
second car
big
here.
hit, big
Oh,
crash.
and-
White
whoa!
Cake has gone
It's a huge crash.
straight on. You've got an RB involved in that as well. So Ads, I think, picked up a penalty recently, and then clearly there's been something happening. White Cake's got no end plates at all on that wing. He'll be coming in, and he's only made a stop not that long ago as well. So hopefully he's gone the harder tyre set, and he can chuck on another set of hards. But White Cake involved in, whatever happened at turn one.
That man's made a decision. Time to box.
Get the undercut. I think that's a good call.
I think he did drop out of DRS range that lap, so it's fortunate Dunno didn't decide to box that lap. So it's game on for my team next time. Yeah, well on the pass. For the Jetman, let's see what power he can use. We know he's very good at his Roblox championships. See what magic he can cook up in this outlap. He'll be loving those hard tires, but important thing to note, make sure he doesn't get a penalty. I think, Scotty, I'll let you take it away with Zandon, because he's got a whopping 4 cars in that train chasing.
Yeah, this has been a hell of a fight. Xander and Cross-Eye keep swapping. That's why you sort of Evil Blade can't really do much. But yeah, these guys have sort of been swapping here, there, and everywhere. That's why they're 5 seconds off of Kimmy. Xandon seems to have broken a little bit, but you've got RK and Cross-Eye. RK setting the move down the inside, getting the job done, and all three of these drivers should still have DRS, with the activation point being a long way before the hairpin, as T. Simmons, as Broken Reptile's the one that makes the pit stop.
So it's time for a two-stop. And he's been held! He's been held by his teammate! Quiet Cake, the lapped teammate, has just ruined this race for Broken Reptile. It's a Red Bull disaster. And the team aren't even ready for him. That's a further 5 seconds. It's a 7-second stop for Broken Reptile. As we just get going now, Quiet Cake slowly coming out of the pits.
He's retired.
Now.
He's
He's
retired.
retired.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, that's the worst case scenario. So if you're Broken Reptile, have you not been given the teammate is in pit lane notice before he's committed to the pit lane? Because it must have been such a late call.
As Quiet Cake just gets out of the way, Broken Reptile would be shouting his fists at that car. His own teammate may have just cost him the victory. And now, you know who's possibly in a really good chance to win this race? It's Kimi Antonelli GOAT. He has a strong chance to win this race. And Dunno, if he has an engineer, he needs to know he has a couple of laps, he probably has 2 laps in hand.
He's boxing.
Box. But he's boxing now. He wants to use that advantage as quick as he can. As an overtake with a Ferrari at the back, it's often used a lap car.
Yeah. Meanwhile, King Dogger's the lead car, so he's made that undercut work really nicely. So I'd expect King Dogger to come out, I believe, in the race lead here. Ferrari garage, obviously, right at the beginning of pit lane, or near the front of the pit lane. And King Dogger will come through turns 1 and 2 and will take the race lead. Broken Reptiles, the last couple of minutes have not been good. Picks up the first 3-second penalty for him, as King Dogger is effectively your race leader that has made 1 pit stop. Jetman has jumped Mercy, doing that 2-lap undercut as well. Evil Blade is in between them. So Mercy and P6, you got to go all the way down as Broken Reptiles in the wall. Broken Reptiles in the wall.
He has to make a move now. Here's Dunno, side by side. This is a crucial move for possibly the end of the race. He takes over ahead of Evil Blade. Is he within 1 second? He might have just missed it.
I think he has. But
He might have missed the Broken Reptile, as you say. I don't know what he's doing, but he was there for quite some time. probably trying to bring out a safety car at that point.
I think he had to wait for traffic. I think he was waiting for traffic to be fair because he was in an awkward spot. But Broken Reptile, unfortunately, will have to come in for a front wing change. Oh, Timmy, I reckon, head in his hands, I reckon. The last couple of minutes have been poor. Our effective race leader has picked up a 3-second time penalty. RK Gaming is in yellow flag. Someone's had a moment there. Gold picks up a 3-second time penalty. Chaos, the last couple of laps. Mercy up into P4. He's behind King Dogger. He's behind Jetman. Kimmy is the lone driver in the top group that is yet to make a pit stop. They'll go at least another 6 laps to try and make those mediums last at the end. But this race is flipped on its head. Broken Reptile, one of the more favoured drivers to win. Looks like they won't even score points at this rate.
Coming to box this lap onto the hard tyres, it's a disaster for the Red Bull squad, who lost their team principal about 2 days ago, and it just gets worse for 2025 for that team, even in the Inters Championship. So, pretty unfortunate for them, as Jetman has closed a whopping 1.5 seconds in Sector 2 alone. So
Yeah,
Kimmy
that's just pace
really
wise.
needs to get a move on, I think. I get he's trying to one-stop here, and I know he definitely has the pace to do so, because he's just not been burning out all over me.
He's trying to last. He's probably trying to save those hards. Problem is, he did a 16.2 last lap. Jetman did a 14.2. He's 2 seconds slower than Jetman, and King Dogger was 1.7 seconds quicker than his teammate. So he's going to be careful.
I'll say
Otherwise,
this.
he's going to lose the 20-second pit stop anyway.
I'll say this, though. It could be that if he stays out long enough and holds up King Dogger, then Mercedes might be in a strong chance for 1-2 here. Because as I mentioned before, when I did my league race, I boxed on lap 24 and only missed out on the win by half a second because of a VSC. I probably would have ended up having a chance to really win that race. And that was over a 10-lap stint on the hard compound tyre after boxing from the lead of the race, and the other pack was still with me. So Kimmy, if they are up to some gamesmanship here, and he's waiting for Jetman to catch him, to hold him up, Kimmy, I think, can really box as late as, in all honesty, for the medium tyre, box as late as lap 20, well, as early as lap 24, and as late as lap 27 for the medium tyre, and do a bit of gamesmanship, get King Dogger in it, and they could be in a chance for a 1-2 or a double podium here. Just keep note of that.
Will he have the pace? I know we sort of said before that the medium tyres for both of us, like, they feel like shit, especially sort of once you get 5-6 laps in. Will we be able to
Hence why he needs to have the shortest speed possible. So
I figured if you were going to do that, try and sort of this is obviously always going to be the case if King Dogger was ahead of Jetman. Problem is, Jetman is absolutely flying. King Dogger's actually fallen away. Nearly 8. 1.2. He actually lost 1.2 seconds that last lap, King Dogger, and Mercy's right on the back of him. So whether he made a mistake or he's just struggling with those hards, obviously he's 7 laps older hard tyres, and that's the issue as well. King Dogger, he's got a big undercut. Problem is, he's got to struggle at the end of this race if he doesn't pit again. Brompton picks up a 3-second. Mercy right on the back, won't be close enough for an overtake at turn 1. But Mercy's flying. He's setting. Actually, Mercy, I think, was the quickest driver on track last lap. Yeah, he was. So Mercy's flying. He's got to clear King Dogger as quickly as possible to try and get to Jetman. Oh, and we've lost you, Checkered. Like you've just gone all muffly, so.
Can you hear me now?
And a little bit louder if possible.
Hello?
Yes, got ya.
Is it good now?
Yeah, good.
All good. Yeah, as I was saying before, King Dogger has absolutely cooked his tires. There's just no way he's going to last 14 laps on this set of tires. So I think he's definitely going to be on for a 2 set. So Jesus, he's really struggling there as Dunno sniffs an opportunity in the Ferrari car as it goes side by side into the chicane. There's not going to be a fight put up for the Mercedes-Benz driver. He moves down into 4th place. When is he going to box, though, is the real question. He might be on the same strategy as Kimi now, who has been saving his tires like crazy. Jetman, 3.5 seconds away from winning this race. Can you remember the last time Jetman actually won the race?
I think he's been.
It's been a while.
I think he's been stuck in tier 2. I think that's been the issue. So obviously he's been demoted to tier 3, just obviously with the quality of the tier 2 grid. He's sort of been ducked down into tier 3. So this probably his first like real opportunity he's had at a race win for quite a while. So
Yeah, sure. I can't remember the last time he's won. It's been
maybe hell of a victory. But yeah, he was 2.3 seconds quicker than Kimi the last lap. So Kimi is obviously trying to hold on to those tyres, but they are really struggling at this point. But yeah, Jetman doing a wonderful job, and he's kept it clean as well. That's the thing. Other guys around him have picked up pens. He's kept it clean, and I know that was one thing he was really trying to focus on talking to him earlier this afternoon, that he wanted to have a stable car, but he wanted to just sort of make sure that he kept it clean, and then if guys around him sort of fell either by crashing or by penalties, he was going to be there to capitalise, and at the moment he's doing a really, really nice job. Again, he was in the 13th that last lap. But his personal best.
We have got a spinner at the hairpin.
Jeneth. So he's recovered nicely, but yeah, he's dropped a bunch of positions as Jeneth Lee. So down to 13th.
Yeah, 1.2 seconds is the gap from Jetman to the Mercedes car in the lead. Dunno falls back another couple seconds despite being on fresher compound tyres. Did get held up a bit by King Dogger, was broken away from him as well. Keep note of this. Now, I was thinking of a double podium for Mercedes, but the way that King Dogger's absolutely destroyed the tyres, I just don't think that's possible. Pass. Oh, it's in the fence! Oh, it just caught the end of that. He's got a damaged front left end plate, keeps it, well, not nice and tidy. He's absolutely cooked those rear tyres as he gets back up and running. But big mistake as he came out of the chicane before the hairpin. Very, very unfortunate for Zandon, who was driving a brilliant race.
He was driving fantastically. That's really unfortunate for him. As you got Jetman right on the rear, as you just got the yellow flag with the lap car getting out of the way. But Jetman right on the arse of Kimi. Question I was going to ask you, Checkered, was do you just bite the bullet with King Dogger and just come in and actually get a change of those tyres, because he's just fallen back miles after
absolutely.
miles.
Now is the time, because Kimi is doing a worldly job to hold up Jetman, and Jetman now gets past, but we'll see what Kimi can do. I don't think he'll be able to respond with the tyres that he's on, but yeah, absolutely. King Dogger, in all honesty, bite the bullet, take a box. There's no cars that he will get held up by, because they're all about over 3 seconds apart from each other, so I don't see what he has to lose.
Cubing Unseed picks up the fastest lap of the race, obviously bonus point, and then he picks up a 3-second penalty after he does that fastest lap. Obviously, point for fastest lap, obviously within the top 10. So you've got to be in the top 10, and he moves up ahead of Broseph, who has also just
He's going to the race! Side by side into turn 1, Jetman holds on. Is Kimi going to get the switchback done? But Jetman perfectly parked the bus. Kimi, I'll tell you what, he's been saving his battery, I think, just for this moment, as King Dogger boxes, as we said before. So I think we're about to see a little bit of gamesmanship here. Kimi is saved his battery for this moment, and he's going to have a little bit of fun. He's bringing Dunno into this battle as well now, Scotty. Dunno now has a chance to, well, maybe not win this race because he's got a penalty, but Dunno has a chance to cause a bit of mayhem there.
King Dogger picks up another pen. He's up to 6 seconds. Evil Lade's up to 9. There's your penalties on screen while we're looking this battle up front.
That we mentioned before, Scotty. It's just that one chicane.
it's just that one chicane. So I think Mercy wants, what he wants to do is just catch Jetman and then just keep pressuring Jetman into a mistake. Not sure how many warnings Jetman would have, but as I said, Jetman's driving fantastically.
Kimmy stays out again.
I thought Kimmy might have actually come in. I thought Kimmy might have come in, obviously.
He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. And he's going to pressure him. He knows that Jetman has no battery, and I reckon Kimmy has tons of it to his deployment. He's saved his tyres beautifully because he can fight. He really can fight on these tyres. Wait for this lap or next lap, and Kimmy will box, and we're going to see an absolute hunt down from Kimmy. When he will box, if we put it to leader gap, he will come out ahead.
Oh, Evil Blade and meanwhile, Evil Blade and King Dogger. I'll interrupt you, yellow flag. As we're coming up to it, I think that was just the Ferrari getting out of the way. Evil Blade picks up a 3-second penalty. Another one, he's up to 12. Xanon picks up the fastest lap. Sadly, after having to come in with that wing
really
change.
Just a, what do you call it, like a sympathy point at this point.
To be fair, he's down. He's in 11th, so Xanon, new medium tyres, he might actually be able to actually pick up 10th place, which would mean that he gets that fastest lap point. He's only 9 seconds away with 9 laps left, and the old hard tyres will really start falling off compared to the sort of the medium. So Xanon still could be in with the point here. His teammate as well, giving Unseen a couple of lap older medium tyres. So Sauber's not out of it with the double top 10.
There, locked his rears. This might be Jetman's best chance to really break a second here, but he's not going to utilise that. I don't think he saw it. Really tight stuff there.
Is Kimmy sort of losing his chance with the new medium to fight through? Because he's sort of getting a little bit carried away with the Jetman fight, that maybe he should be in a couple of laps earlier to use the full length of the medium tyre sort of stint to try and close back up to a potential podium.
If he wants to win this race, you have to box this lap, in all honesty. Because he's really struggling now.
Yeah, he's outside DRS now.